Once upon a time, on the humble shores of a small village, there lived a newlywed couple whose life was marked by poverty. One day, the husband, driven by the desire to give his wife a better life, proposed to her the following: "My beloved, I have made a decision. I will undertake a journey in search of a job that will guarantee us a more prosperous and dignified future. I cannot predict how long I will be gone, but I ask that during my absence, you remain faithful as I will be to you." With the vigor of youth and unwavering hope, the young traveler journeyed long distances on foot until fortune smiled upon him. He found a farmer in need of help on his extensive property. He volunteered for the work, and his proposal was accepted. Confident in the value of his work, he made a deal with his employer, stating, "Let me work for as long as I deem necessary, and when I decide it's time to leave, you will release me from my duties. I don't wish to receive my salary now, but prefer that you accumulate it in a savings account until the day of my departure. At that moment, you will give me the earnings accrued from our agreement." The young man worked tirelessly for 2 decades without vacation or breaks. At the end of this time, he approached his employer and said, "Boss, I wish to claim my salary now, as I am determined to return home." The employer agreed and replied, "Very well, I will fulfill our pact. However, before doing so, I would like to offer you an alternative proposal. I can give you your money, or I can offer you 3 pieces of advice. But in the latter case, you won't receive the money. Reflect on these options in the privacy of your room, and once you make your decision, return and share it with me." The man reflected intensely for 2 days. Upon concluding, he approached his employer with his decision. "I choose the 3 pieces of advice," he declared. The employer nodded, reminding him once again, "If you opt for the advice, you will forfeit the money you have accumulated." The resolute worker insisted, "I still choose the advice." The employer then shared his words of wisdom. First, never take shortcuts in life. The shortest and unknown paths can lead to mortal dangers. Second, never succumb to curiosity for evil, as such fascination can have fatal results. Third, avoid making decisions in moments of anger or pain, as they may lead to deep and lasting regret. With the advice given, the employer handed the no longer young man 3 loaves of bread. "2 of them are for your journey, and the 3rd is to share with your wife upon your arrival home after 20 years, the employer explained. Far from home and the wife he loved dearly, the man embarked on his journey back. On his first day of travel, a passerby greeted him and asked about his destination. The man replied, "I am headed to a distant place, more than 20 days' journey along this route." The passerby informed him of a shortcut that would significantly reduce his travel time. Tempted by the opportunity, the man was about to follow the path to his beloved when he remembered the first advice: never take shortcuts in life. The shortest and unknown paths can cost you your life. With this wisdom resonating in his mind, he decided to stick to the original route. 2 days later, he learned from another traveler that the person who had taken the shortcut had fallen victim to a violent assault, being beaten and robbed of all his belongings. That seemingly convenient shortcut had been an ambush. The wisdom of the first advice was fully revealed. After several more days of exhausting travel and in search of rest, the man found an inn by the roadside. Although it was late at night and everything seemed calm, a brusque woman opened the door for him and provided him lodging. Exhausted, he paid the daily fee without asking questions and, after a refreshing bath, retired to sleep. The tranquility of the night was interrupted by a chilling scream that startled him awake. Alarmed, he set out to investigate the origin of the terrifying sound. At the door of his room, he recalled the second advice from his employer: never be curious about anything that represents evil, for curiosity about evil can be fatal. He decided to ignore the disturbing scream and return to his bed. At dawn, during breakfast, the innkeeper asked him if he had heard the scream. The man nodded, but when asked if he had been curious, he denied it. The surprised innkeeper informed him that he was lucky because the inn was haunted at night by a woman in a fit of madness who would unleash horrendous screams and kill any guest who ventured out to investigate. The man continued his journey, increasingly eager to reunite with his home and wife. After long days and nights of walking, at dusk, he saw the smoke from the chimney of his small house amidst the trees. As he approached, he saw the silhouette of his wife in the garden. However, he noticed she was not alone. A man rested beside her while she caressed his hair. The sight filled his heart with bitterness and jealousy, and he decided to rush towards them, ready to unleash his anger. However, in his haste, he remembered the third advice: never make decisions in moments of anger and pain, for you may regret them too late. He stopped, consumed by internal conflict, and decided to spend the night there. He promised himself that at dawn, with a clear mind, he would make a decision. In the morning, after hours of introspection, he resolved not to harm his wife. First, I will tell my wife that I have always been faithful to her, he thought with determination. He approached the house and knocked. When his wife opened the door and recognized him, she threw herself into his arms, embracing him affectionately. He tried to push her away, but it was futile. With tears in his eyes, he said, "I have always been loyal to you, but you have betrayed me." Terrified, she replied, "I never betrayed you. I waited for you for 20 years. He then inquired about the man she had been with the previous afternoon, with tenderness. She responded, "That man is our son. When you left, I discovered I was pregnant. Now he is 20 years old." Moved by the revelation, the husband entered the house, met his son, and embraced him. He recounted his entire story, and while his wife prepared dinner, they sat together to share the last bread the employer had sent to the wife. Amid tears of emotion, he took the bread and realized it was unusually heavy. He broke it open and found 3 small gold bars, 10 diamonds, and 2 rubies, the fruit of his 20 years of dedication and work. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20 says, "Listen to advice and accept instruction, that you may gain wisdom in the future." If this story touched your heart, please share the video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring tales. Until the next video, where we will continue to explore the valuable lessons life has to offer.